I used to charge a kid a made up fat tax. A long time ago I was a high schooler at a boarding school. I was a decent kid in the eyes of the teachers and school administration. In fact, they liked me so much that throughout my time there I was able to rise through the student ranks. I became a prefect, then I became the head boy, and at one point I had passed training that allowed me to run my own sports sessions or event where I was supervising younger and even a few older kids. This was just basic training for first aid, situational awareness, etc. At one point the school had so much trust in me that I was allowed to leave the school premises alone in the afternoons. This was huge and very few students had this privilege. In typical fashion, as soon as I received the privilege I began abusing my powers as a free man. The school was very adamant on getting us balanced meals, so we weren't allowed to get food delivered. All delivery vehicles were refused entrance. Having the privilege of leaving the premises meant that I didn't have to order junk food and risk getting caught. I could simply go out to any fast food joint and bring food back with me. It all started out as an exclusive club. Myself and my friends were munching on McDonald's and KFC as the plebeians were having the filthy healthy cafeteria foods. Then I was offered something I couldn't refuse: money. Not long after I had built a whole operation for bootlegging junk food into the school. We had cut-off times for orders, a priority list for regular customers, extra fees for late orders, and even a spreadsheet for keeping a record of orders, payments, and profits. This smuggling was next level. We were organized, knew all the fire exits, where to walk to avoid corridor cameras, and how to pack the food so that it's unnoticeable when walking in mostly used sports bags with a thin layer of clothes. The teachers knew something was going on. There was food wrappers everywhere, but no one knew how it came in. Business was booming and I was making profits of $50 a day, for 3-4 days a week. But it wasn't enough. I was hungry for more. There was a fat kid that ordered regularly, so I pulled the most a-hole move you could do to your best customer. I started charging 2x the price for his orders, and I would hide behind a bullet moral barrier claiming we were doing this for his own good, since we learned in economics that increased prices reduced demand and so he would be eating less and he would lose weight. The kid saw straight through the BS, but in the end he couldn't resist it and continued ordering from me. Mahmoudi, if you are reading this, I'm sorry. Based on your name, you peaked in high school? Basically, to summarize, if I'm being fully honest, yes. Did the teachers ever figure out it was you guys? Also, how long did you guys keep this up for? They never found out, and I wouldn't be surprised if the current head boy is doing the same thing. If you put things into perspective, it can get even worse. The head boy before me was smuggling in weed and tobacco. How did they not catch anyone smoking? Like, why not just sell it outside of school? Surprisingly, I don't remember a single person getting caught with weed, but there were several guys that were caught with cigarettes. Abusing your powers and making a profit. So I guess you became a successful politician? I used to charge my little sister a little sister tax when she was like 8 and I was 17 and punch her and take her quarters. Sister is now brother, and even before the testosterone injections, I offered a free punch as an apology for being such a red older sister. I literally had to pick myself up off the ground. I also had a little sister tax, but my older brother would just get my food and I didn't mind sharing. PFT, my brother is a straight a-hole. We went to Burger King and I was seated all the way in the back and my brother got my food before I did, ate the majority of my fries and then ate all of his. I was very upset and all my family could say was, "You don't need them," like what the frick. Mind you, this is when we were like 11 to 13 years old. Even today, I've been trying to do keto or at the very least very low carb to lose weight. Brother has done nothing but talk it about the diet, etc. I made keto friendly Reese cups since it's one of my most favorite candy, and since I can't have it too often I made those for once in a while as a small treat. He now eats them all and claims you shouldn't make them so good. It's really frustrating. When an older sibling bullies their younger sibling for the first time, we are visited by the devil. He explains that my little sibling, S, will one day attempt to overthrow my reign as the most powerful child. That the only way to prevent this is through asserting my dominance early and using that power to weaken the foe. This first begins with stealing toys and items of enjoyment. This serves to weaken their spirits. Second is stealing food. Keeping them malnourished is crucial to maintaining power. And last is abuse. If you weaken their body and their minds, then you ensure your continued dominance. All until your dad comes and smacks you upside the head for being a dingus of an older sibling. Damn Draco, back at it again. I suggest, as you know his name, instead of apologizing anonymously, contact him online and apologize. I bet that really hurt him and I'm willing to bet he still thinks about it. It's never too late to say sorry. I never apologized, but I did discuss with him while I was still at high school, in my final year. I ended up giving him some free food to make up for the extra he had paid before, and I also started picking him regularly for my five-a-side football, soccer, team. We don't speak a lot now that it's been several years, but he doesn't shy away from me, and after I left school he did initiate contact with me a couple of times. I still think I owe him an apology, since now that I think back to it I realize how messed up it was. Not sure how he is going to take it if I bring back this topic from such a long time ago. The folks in charge there weren't smart enough to figure out that the kid they're letting off campus was smuggling food back in. Jeez. Prefects and head boys exist outside of Hogwarts. It's new. I'm glad you explicitly mentioned that it was a made-up tax. I was worried there for a moment. You/bald fat frick. First, everyone has someone in their past they were a dong to. Granted, some are bigger dongs with much longer lists, but everyone has done someone else wrong. Have you considered looking up Mohammed D via social media and apologizing to him? He may not accept it and that's his prerogative, but at least it's out there. My husband's best friend since kindergarten was a complete and utter a-hole to a few people in school. It bothered him years later, so he contacted everyone he bullied and apologized. Some accepted. Some told him to frick off. But at least he tried to do what he could. Time for you to forgive yourself too. People do change. Peace. In middle school I was afraid of the stereotypical drug trade portrayed by the media. It didn't take me long to find out that the food trade was far more prevalent. This is the guy you go to when you want a heist planned out. Damn, that's fricked, but he let you do that to him, so you all both fricked up, lol. This it is actually amazing. Okay, so what this post taught me is that prefect and head boy are real titles, not just from Harry Potter books. Why did the school give such special treatment to the few? Weird to me. What's the point of that besides a popularity contest? To give others something to work towards? Or is it to just show them their place in life? Did you get caught? How did it end? What is your current occupation? I kind of feel sorry for you, to have the respect of the teachers and school authorities to such a high degree for them to believe in you as an exemplar and to lose it for nothing. That's a hard one for me personally to deal with. Everyone dog has their day, I hear. You just had yours young, and when you're young you don't really appreciate it. Sounds like you became the fat one in the end. That's how life plays out, ironic in our own ways. Nice balls, N-word. Whoa. Maybe I'm just a dumb American, but up until this point I thought the terms like head boy and prefect were invented for the Harry Potter franchise. Thanks for the wake up call, OP. I think you created a terrorist. I like you. I don't know if this makes you a cunning businessman or plain sociopath. My brother sold jewels and vapes to other kids in his military school. He could upmarket them 300% and made decent savings for college from it. Amazing LMFAO. Greta loves all of you. There's nothing wrong with this from a capitalist perspective. When demand is high, prices go up, otherwise you'll have a shortage. Yours appears to be motivated by cruelty to a particular kid, but otherwise you were just running a business. I thought prefects were made up for Harry Potter, what the frick? Smus? As long as you are sorry and aware that it was wrong, you're good to go. Also contact the guy and make sure both of you are cool. My father runs a joinery, carpentry business in my town. I'm in the north of England where everyone knows each other, so it's not really a business. People just ring him and ask him to do work. His northern charm keeps him constantly stocked full with requests. Since everything is off the books and in cash, he can charge whatever he likes and people won't question it, because joinery is a complicated field. However, my father has told me about his knobhead tax. If somebody doesn't make him a cup of tea or a sandwich, something expected here in England for manual work, then he charges them extra. Also, if they are rude, the tax also gets applied, but he never usually has to deal with that since he picks and chooses his clients to avoid that type of person.